She's a transformer. No one likes me, do they? Oh my God, that is not baffed. The Israelites. Anyway, we're in Worksop now, and we're here for a load of dirty s***s coming here, upset, that the Supreme Court has ruled that a woman is a woman if she's got ovaries and a fucking vagina, but not a dilated one that you got to keep dilating, a proper one, a real one. And obviously, there's a place called, what's it called? Barrett Law? Bassett Law? Oh, Bassett Law. There's a place called Bassett Law, and they're going through things because obviously the Supreme Court has basically ruled that a woman is a woman, obviously, and they're trying to implement it and get it all done because you basically, since that's been ruled, nothing's really changed. That was like kind of like the story we went down to the 199-day march in London. That was what it was about, because 199 days back then and nothing had been done. So now there's a place here in Worksop at Bassett Laws, and apparently all the trans are going to go there because they're pissed off, because obviously they want to get their cocks out in fucking women's toilets. So that's basically it. Matalan is open. Matalan! It's a fucking busy! It's a busy! That's our first copper we've seen in Worksop. Yeah, baby! They're doing the job properly, they're patrolling the streets. Worksop town centre, eh? Very nice. It's got some kids have been fucking scribbling everywhere. Sick of this. Fucking graffiti everywhere. But a very nice nice town Worksop is.
No problem. People can dress how they want.
Yeah.
After they're 18.
Absolutely. Yeah.
To me, it's after they're 18.
Yeah.
I'm
not one about kids. No.
For me, because I'm a dad, it's about the kids.
Yes.
It's about women's safe spaces and kids.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And doing and buying into a child's delusion that they're something else before they're 18 and it is abuse.
Absolutely.
It's abuse.
Yeah. Tattoo, everything. So why is there not an age limit on
well, if they want their own way, then why aren't they fighting for children to be able to have tattoos when they're free?
Yeah.
Why aren't they advocating for children to be able to smoke and drink alcohol and do whatever they want? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to me, realistically, in reality, it's a doorway to sexual abuse and mental health disorders.
100%,
Do you know what I mean?
when it comes to the expectation of needing to be in women's and children's spaces. There are many people that we've met throughout the years being in the community that would call themselves transsexuals, is the term that's used. So they call themselves transsexuals, but they do not see any expectancy in using any women's spaces. They know and believe that they are what they are.
Absolutely. I've followed quite a few people like this online, and I've got utmost respect for them, to be honest, because you can.
Need to be in my space. They don't need to be in my. When I'm getting, do you know what I mean? They don't push that.
An argument that one of these other people said was when I was like, about my daughter, she was to go in the bathroom and say you there, would you feel intimidated? They flipped him. I was like, oh well, it's intimidating for her, I was a bit stumped. I couldn't think of anything to say, but I'm like, that's not the same.
Every single
Yeah. Oh, I did actually say I think women come first. She was
Well, I mean, but it's just, I'm scared in the bathroom sometimes. It happened the other day, didn't it? I absolutely crapped my pants and I threw water all over myself because it made me jump. It was an actual man security guard.
Women have suffered domestic violence, rape, all sorts, and PTSD. So you don't need a man. Even the feeling of a man or knowing that there's a penis in that bathroom, Why is it? Trans people should be against this. They should actually want to protect women and children. Do you know what I mean?
I don't need to know this, but I don't need to know about immigration or about racism. Right? Well, we're here about a specific meeting, not about immigration. We need to be looking at the law on every aspect. Right. No.
Still, going. You're talking about toilets and the right to use a toilet.
Right, and if a female who walks into the toilet that have still got genitals down there, I'm sorry, not every female is going to feel comfortable with that person being in them toilets. That is the issue here.
Surely if
I'm still not sure
a
what
cisgender man wanted to go and into a female toilet, he would just do it. He would just go
Right, so
And that would be very wrong. And that would be very wrong.
Yeah,
If he doesn't call himself
and if a normal man was there, yeah, he would drag him out by his hair and punch his fucking head in
If he
for
calls
him.
himself trans, then it's okay.
Okay, one night a year, people dress up. What if men start dressing up as women for Halloween and then start using our toilets? Is that okay? Is that okay? Do we have to agree with
if
this?
they're not hurting people in the toilet, then
No, we do not.
No, you don't know.
Yeah, well, you don't speak for all women.
You don't speak for all women.
You don't want it.
No, the majority of women they speak for. You're just a minority of women who fucking want to fucking have a
we speak
piss
for
in fucking a
lesbians and
men's
women.
toilet
We don't
or
want it.
whatever.
The feminists of the back in the day would be ashamed of you. They would be ashamed. They fought for women-only spaces. I've not spoken.
Sorry, from the northwest.
But yeah, the feminists of back in the day would be ashamed of you
No,
guys.
they wouldn't. They'd be
No, they wouldn't. They
No, they
wanted
wouldn't.
men out of our spaces, and you're bringing them back in.
But where do people? They're just third bathroom. Third bathroom is the easiest option.
Yeah.
Third bathroom.
Why would you want to come into a place where you're not welcome?
So where are we getting this third bathroom from?
Fight
It's still going to be a danger anyway. Even if you have a third bathroom, you can have kids that identify as different sexes and all that going into toilets. So that toilet, yeah, will be a dangerous toilet to get still.
Right. So am you saying as a non-binary
Why?
person I'm dangerous?
Because you've got men dressed up as women having a piss in front of real fucking
But
kids.
you're saying that trans people.
Yeah,
That's what you're saying,
why.
that trans people.
That's what you're upset about, because you can't piss in a fucking man's toilet or a woman's toilet on the opposite sex.
Like I said,
Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that.
This is illegal. This is illegal because you are a biological female. This is illegal because you are a biological female.
if it's illegal,
It's indecent.
Should be.
Itself should be classed as indecent.
It is.
Yeah, yeah.
Biological female. So it is.
Nobody wants to see that.
Look at them in there, they can't believe this.
and I smell. I've got hairy armpits as well.
I don't care. I'm more asked about the smell and the indecent exposure that's going on.
Oh my god, that is not baffed. Oh my god, that's not baffed. I know you don't wash your dreadlocks, but mate, that stinks.
I think we need to just
Fuck me.
both sides.
Especially towards we don't want to see
No,
nudity.
I
That's
totally
not
get
okay. That's sexual
I
assault.
think the fact that we
Sexual. It's
Which
a sexual
bit?
assault.
Which
Because you're subjecting me to your nudity without my
This is
consent.
the
That's sexual
unhinged
assault.
fucking
No,
far
yes, it
left
is.
fucking
It's
trancy for weirdos this is. Just remember that, everyone.
try and organise a time to get round the table and have the discussion.
Weirdos.
If anyone would. I think it's on both sides. Like, we
Yeah.
need to kind of.
I completely
Work
agree.
away-
Discussion
work-
should be had.
yeah,
Discussion,
discussion,
because that's
yeah.
when the talking
Yeah.
stops is when the violence happens, and we've been seeing it.
Yeah.
We've been seeing it.
I
But
agree,
even
yeah.
just from like discussions here already, you can tell certain people will not be able to sit down and have that discussion.
They're
Because they're so
unhinged.
in the
That's
mindset.
what I'm
Yeah.
talking
Yeah.
about. Taking our
Unhinged
clothes
they
off.
are.
Do you know what I mean?
But I think a man. It's just I think a lot of times.
You're not a man, though.
You're not a
man,
though. You're a woman.
I do this all the time. I go around all over the place doing this. It's the same story. It's unhingedness. It's weirdness. Fucking weird. Weird.
I'm not getting my gender. I
You see that
Weird.
you are a woman.
You can't convince me. I've got 6 kids. They're all normal and all that. Brought them up right. Do you know what I mean? Brought them up right.
No,
Do you know what I mean? Didn't partake in any delusions or anything like that.
It's not a
thing. It's swearing at us.
Yeah,
quite aggressive.
Stop swearing after
I'm not
me came out
aggressive.
and said stop swearing. It's part of
I
our
haven't swore.
vocabulary.
I am
We
so
don't
I'm
swear.
not aggressive.
We apologise.
I'm not aggressive.
We apologise.
Just that we get a bit excitable sometimes.
Exactly, a bit passionate about
Yeah,
what
yeah, a
we're
bit
talking
passionate about fucking men
At
not
least we're
getting
not
their
stripping
cocks
off
out in
naked,
fucking
you
front
know.
of women and
showing our
children.
bits.
No, we've come here to record this.
Where's this going? I want to know. Like, have you got
English Ned.
English
English
Ned?
Ned on YouTube.
English Ned on
Yeah,
YouTube.
yeah.
Oh, I've got to find it. I hope I do.
So English Ned on YouTube, MKR TV, and My Breaks Don't Work.
Will I find them if I just find you?
YouTube, yeah. English Ned. How I met these was actually on a trans protest. So when I met these, there was like a load of men dressed up as women, and they started attacking them. And then I was there on that day, so I didn't know them, so I started protecting them, real women being attacked by men dressed up as women. And they weren't even like small men, they were like big men. And they were grabbing all of them and throwing them and trying to restrict them and all that. So that's how I got to know them. I didn't start recording, I wasn't doing YouTube. I just went down to get stuck in the protest. Do you know what I mean? And then I met these. It's like when they do it, whichever way they do it, yeah, they do it like a caricature of that. They don't dress up and be, it's like a woman's version of what a man would look like. Do you know what I mean? Have you seen that meme? Have you seen that meme? Have you seen that meme where the song where he goes, "Have you got a fast car?" And there's like a man dressed up as a woman, and she's doing this, and she's pretending to be like a man. That's how I look at it.
It's like dreadful. It's ridiculous, but it's the same everywhere we go. That they either don't want to talk if they do, they make it that they're entitled to we're aggressors. Every time, I'm not being funny, the aggressor here.
These are protected. When I go to these protests and I see all these and the way that the police treat them, I call these the protected species, because that's what they are, they're protected. Do you know what I mean? They're allowed to attack you. When we go to these things and they're like Antifa there.
They're allowed to shout.
Oh my god, they're violent. They're violent.
Yeah, pushing your cameras and everything.
So you can tell me I'm a woman as many times as you like.
If you've got a penis, you're not a woman.
If you're a trans woman though, yeah, you've got to dilate that vagina to stop it from closing up.
Guess what? Some people don't actually go as far as having a vagina.
So they're still a man then, aren't they?
Oh right, wait a minute. Oh man, what? You have to have a working vagina to be a woman?
Yes, you have to be born a woman.
You have to be born a woman.
It's not a vagina.
So she's basically trying to go on. If a woman's born with a birth defect, she's basically saying if a man's born with no arm, then there's a species of human with no arms. You know what I mean? It's fucking stupid, fucking idiots, brainwashed muppets.
Can I ask you a question? You said you're non-binary, is that what you said?
Yes, I am.
So in terms of when it comes to non-binary and transgender, how does that work for you? In your head, in your words, how does non-binary and transgender correlate?
Because being a non-binary person is also a trans person.
How? That's what I'm asking.
You're not transitioning from one to another though if you're saying neither.
But that's not what being a trans person is. It's not always about transitioning from one to another.
I thought trans was short for trans.
Yeah, so would non-binary then be its own?
She's not back. She's a transformer. She can change to one and then change back like Bumblebee.
But
Or
That's
fail.
the line.
I'm not that.
it's been gender identity has been a fluid thing for hundreds of years,
Yep.
and many
Yeah, but your identity, your style or whatever is different than your sex. You know, if you're a man or you're a woman.
It's like what they're trying to say is like I could wake up tomorrow morning, be a woman, and have a vagina.
If you want to.
No.
But
No,
it works like,
not
it's
at
really
all.
expensive.
Can't wake up tomorrow and have a vagina and
so
call
what
myself
are you
a
guys-
woman.
what
How
are you
fucking
guys-
stupid
don't
and
think
thick.
about
How moronic is that? Do you know what I mean? How stupid is that? No one. If that's what the kids are being taught in the schools these days, no wonder we're in a fucking mess.
Bring back
I was
asylum.
a tomboy when I was a kid.
Make asylums great again.
That's what
Do
they
you know
were
what I
there
mean?
for.
Make asylums great again. I'm
So,
telling you now.
What is it in regards
Partaking
to
in people's delusion.
What is it in regards to this meeting then that you're specifically counter-protesting with what's going on with the meeting? So I've had a look at what the meeting's about. So I want to know from you
good
guys what is it you're
question.
counter-protesting from this meeting?
Because the Supreme Court ruling that is trying to make these spaces very controlled is scary to me. As I'm a cisgender woman, I don't like the idea that if I'm going into a bathroom that I have to look enough like a woman, that I have to definitely, like, I don't want to feel like I have to present in a certain way. To be like, there's already been instances of women who are cisgender women who have been taken out of bathrooms because they're presenting too masculine.
But that's a problem made by trans people, really, at the end of the day.
So for my reply to that, I feel like, so what's happened is, now throughout society, it's always been a sort of push on how boys and girls should be societally, how males and females should be, what they should like, and the gender roles. That's always been sort of a thing in society. And I feel like we got to a point where it didn't matter about that anymore, and you could be a woman and wear boy stuff, and it didn't mean you were a boy, and same vice versa. And it all of a sudden seems like there has been a sudden push to push it in the opposite direction. So instead of it being okay to wear whatever in the midst of the gender norms, or do whatever in the midst of the gender norms and still be what you are.
What they why?
Well, who asked the question for Elxley? Who asked the question for Elxley?
Why
What question did you ask?
This gentleman is doing a YouTube video.
I'll just ask the question. I've got it here, I better read it.
Okay, boss.
It's thank you. The question asked was, there have been an unauthorised traveller site in Elxley since 2022. A planning application for approval of this site was rejected by the council in May of this year, but the council has made no attempt to take enforcement action to close down this site. When are the council going to fulfil their legal obligation to enforce their own planning policy and take action to close this site?
And what did you think to the reply?
It was drivel, and that's why Paul got up and said, oh, we take enforcement seriously. But as Paul pointed out, they don't even have an enforcement officer. Well, they're twisting and turning to try and...
You can see the strength of feeling. I hope you can...
Cheers,
well,
boss.
I think the fact that...
What's your name?
Alan Morris.
Alan Morris.
Norman Roper.
Norman Roper from
Elxley.
From Elxley.
Elxley.
All right.
Elkesley.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, boys.
All in favour? Against? Any abstentions?
14.2 and then 14.4 if he hasn't submitted his apologies, and also means in 14.2 and 14.3 Councillor Rhodes didn't need to respond to his question.
As young as 5 years old. I'm sorry, but if you're normalising that as a 5-year-old child, I'm sorry, but that 5-year-old child is coming from some kind of trauma background.
100%.
If they're already talking about that topic of conversation.
How, as a, yeah. As a dad, yeah, to 6 children, my kids didn't really know anything about that because they weren't exposed to it. So someone's exposing these kids to this ideology, and it should not be teachers in schools. It should be down to the parents, not teachers in schools, to affirm a child saying, I'm a cat now. Okay then, go and have a shit in that litter tray. No one likes me, do they? No one likes me because I just say it as it is, the truth, unadulterated truth.
None.
Shit, I was going to get run over.
And goodbye.
From me. Oh, let me do that again, that was gay. From me.
And goodbye from
me. Why are you working at this time of night, mate?
Money.
Look at this geezer getting sopping wet, working in Worksop. You're meant to be a fucking lesbian, staring at men's off. Look at him there. She's looking at fucking men's asses. Let's have a look at this old train station here. Still got the lines on it there, look. They cross over. Like old school, the railway children. Worksop East. Let's have a little gander at this fucking railway station. Look at it. Old yellow sandstone. Looking beautiful. Looking amazing. Oh, it's got a pub here as well. Free house.
better cut that part out.
So we're in Manchester Friday night and we're going to an event held by Turning Point UK, a thing called Unspoken. It's got Steve from The Edge of the Matrix speaking there, and it's got Nick Buckley MBE speaking there as well. So I'm back with the girls. Let's see what's going on there. St. Peter's Square. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Manchester Convention Centre where I met the girls. Look at it. Looks pretty, that, doesn't it? It's where I met the girls. This is where I met Ponytail. I think fucking Jeffrey Dahmer was there. Timu Jeffrey Dahmer was there. Big Bertha. They were all there. And this is where I met them. Here.
Everybody, my name is Izzy from Turning Point. I'm just going to run over the format of this evening. First speaker, 20 to 30 minutes, followed by half-hour Q&A straight after. I was aiming for a 15-minute break, but obviously bar dependent. Followed by our second speaker and then Q&A. But we are booked for the rest of the evening, so do feel free to stay around and chat. I wanted to give Mandy a couple of minutes. She's the reform councillor for Cheshire and West, so she just wanted to say right.
Thank you. Thanks, Lizzie. Thank you. Nice to see everybody. Thanks for giving me a couple of minutes to talk. I'm a local Cheshire West and Chester Borough councillor. I'm a reform councillor. And for the last few years, I've been making a right nuisance of myself, going along to local pride events and just raising the alarm really about some of the stuff that's happening at those events around children. Obviously, pride events are intended to be inclusive to everybody. But some unsavoury stuff has started to happen around children in recent years, but because it's got the rainbow slapped on it, nobody dares say anything. So I have been saying something as a local councillor, and first of all I was saying it on my own, and then gradually more councillors began to sort of join in and vote in favour of trying to do something about some of these things. So we've had the sale of sex toys, we've had burlesque striptease and all kinds of things like that around children. Obviously the fetish wear around children and the participation of the local police in the same parades as children and all of this fetishy stuff going on. And the ideology as well, so F off, Karen, TERF's not welcome here, that kind of thing. So I don't think these events should be politicised if they're publicly funded and they're on public land, etc. Or if they're run by charities, charities shouldn't be political, and they definitely shouldn't have sexualised stuff going on around children. However, I got into a spot of bother when I went to just monitor how things were going at the most recent Winsford Pride event, and I'm in court in just under 2 weeks' time to defend myself against criminal charges which I pleaded not guilty to. So I would be forever grateful if people would consider donating to my crowdfunder. I've got to raise funds to cover the cost of a barrister to support me, because obviously I'm going up against the establishment in order to defend myself, and that's just the way it is at the moment. So I think if you're a squeaky wheel on these issues, you have to expect really a certain amount of persecution. That's where we are. But my crowdfunder is called Legal Defence Fund for Councillor Mandy Clare, and I feel proud to be amongst some other squeaky wheels here tonight. It is on crowd justice as well, so the money doesn't come to me personally, but I have been very fortunate to secure the support of a barrister called Sarah Vine. So some people might have heard of her, but she recently defended Graham Linehan in Westminster Magistrates Court against those charges. So if you would consider visiting my crowdfunder and supporting me, maybe sharing it if you can't afford to donate anything, that will be massively appreciated, and thank you. Thanks.
Thanks, Izzy. Thank you, guys. Before we start, I just want to see, is there any transgender, lesbian, sperm-producing females in the house tonight? I shit you not, somebody who identifies as such promised to come and question me tonight. Well, I didn't promise, suggested that they were going to come tonight to question me. And she, or well, he,
well, the night's young.
Yeah. I'm sure he'll be watching the videos and he'll be very pleased for the attention, because he's an attention seeker. Is there anybody here that hasn't seen any of the videos that I've put up on YouTube, or has everybody seen them? Is there anybody who's not? Okay, so basically what I do is I go up and down the country. I'm not original in doing this. The first guy that did it was called Chris Elston, known as Billboard Chris. Some of you might see him. And basically I just put sandwich boards on and I go up and down the country looking a little bit stupid, wearing these signs. Basic facts, you know, there's no such thing, there's no such thing as a transgender child. On the back there, it says trans women are men and what is autogynephilia, and I'll go on to explain what that is. It's like a transgender lesbian sperm producing female. It's an autogynephile. Does everybody understand that we're in a culture war? And it's a war on Western values. It's a war on the family. It's a war on freedom of speech, and it's a war on reality. Okay, they're trying to upturn it, cause chaos. It's a cold war at the moment. We're not, well, there's a few skirmishes out on the streets, and I've been involved in quite a number of those and had food products thrown all over me on numerous occasions. But for the most part, it's a cold war at the moment, but it is heating up. So how did I get involved in it? So I spent 10 years in the military, and then when I left the military, 2 years in Civvy Street, then I went into the fire service. Fire service was great when it was run by firefighters that went up through the ranks and got into managerial positions. But what happened from the early 2000s is we started to get backroom managers into the fire service, okay, that had been through university, knew nothing about the service, but they were just bringing in a kind of new culture, okay, and changing things. And it happened slowly, incrementally, and then there was a big hoo-ha about what was called our appearance policy. So it used to be, you turn up for work, you dress smart, you iron your shirt, polish your boots, you know, look presentable, make sure your hair's like not on the collar, things like that. So in 2018, the new policy came out, and in the scope of the policy it said, this is a gender neutral policy and we understand and recognise that employees can turn up to work and identify in whatever gender they wish, and that might mean no gender at all or non-binary. And I was like, what the fuck? And it meant that I could turn up to work, identify as a female, and go and use the female toilets, and I would be supported in that. And that's it. This is crazy, you know. And I very, very nearly actually tested the policy. I thought I'm going to do it just to test it. But of course, I'm not a creepy man that wants to go fishing around with a euphoria boner in the female changing rooms. Yeah, the euphoria boner is a thing. Trust me. Follow a lady called Mary Kate Delvey on X. Mary Kate Delvey, remember that one? So anyway, I didn't test this, but then they sent out a survey asking us, you know, a staff survey of how you feel about the service, and within that, it was asking you how you identify. So I thought, I'll have a little bit of fun, and I identified as being transgender. Okay, so I ticked it in the box, and then the backroom staff it kind of backfired on me, because it must have been the answer to all their prayers, because we're not a progressive enough service, because we've got somebody in the service who identifies, who's transgender, that's afraid to come out, you know. So all of a sudden, all notice boards were coming, there were LGBTQ plus notice boards on every single fire station all around Greater Manchester. They were taking the photos off the walls of fires, you know, all the incidents, the big incidents, with all take photos, and they're all, you know, it's like it's a history of what that fire station has been through the years. Stockport Fire Station had pictures of the Manchester airport fire, I don't know if people remember that. But slowly, all these photographs were coming off, and LGBTQ boards were going up. And the surefire way to get promoted was to identify, or was to become an ally, and then you know, it's a tick in the box and you could get promoted. COVID happened not long after 2018. I started to do lots of research on this. I started to do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu at the time, started to listen to Joe Rogan, and he was talking about how the trans rights activists came for him. You know, you don't get much of a bigger profile nowadays than Joe Rogan, and even he had to apologise after some of his videos. They actually came for him at one point, and even he did that. COVID came and went, and all of a sudden, you know, it seemed this trans agenda had started to progress. What we missed, the people that were fighting, the freedom fighters against COVID, what we missed was the fact that young school children were in isolation, locked in their room, and they were getting groomed online during that period, okay? And what's happened, not only were the young kids being groomed online, the older kids were going to universities, okay? And they were getting indoctrinated at the universities with this, has anybody heard of postmodernism? Okay, and from postmodernism comes queer theory and comes, what's the other one, critical theory. You know, and that basically puts a hierarchy in society, and if you're a straight white male, you're at the top of this hierarchy, okay? Just below that, you've got straight white females, and then this kind of like a descending order. And all these kids were going to university, these posh kids, and they were white, you know, the males, and they were privileged, but this ideology was telling them that if you identified as a marginalised group, you will get all the attention, and that's what they were doing. And it was these people that went into, this is what I don't call it, it's a phrase called the long march through the institutions, okay? How do you change society without having a revolution, without spilling blood? What you do is you get into the institutions, and this is what I realised had happened in the fire service. Okay, they come in from like the early 2000s and slowly change the policy, and it's in the fire service, it's in the police. We've seen it in the two-tier policing. I've experienced it since I've been attacked on the streets. It's in the courts, you know, it's in the judiciary, it's massively in the NHS. Is there any NHS workers here?
Hello.
So, yeah, of course we've got.
We've got Let Women Speak.
Yeah.
Other than doing what you do, which is, you know, going out, engaging with the public, wearing the billboards, what can men do to push back on this?
One thing that I mentioned earlier, it's very difficult really. You speak to people. One thing I mentioned earlier, go to the schools to demand, if you know or got children in school. This is what Kelly J. Keane says. She says a lot of the time, you know, women aren't listened to if they go to schools, but if the fathers go, they listen. That's the words of Kelly J. Keane. So that's one thing. All I would say is talk about it. It's very difficult because people don't want to be cancelled. The amount of people that say to me on the streets, please don't put me on your YouTube channel because I will get sacked from work, you know. But I think we have to speak out about it. Start by speaking amongst your friends, and don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. You've got those views. Just speak about it.
Yeah. I wasn't brave. I was just naive. Because in 2020, I thought I was a free man living in a free country with freedom of speech. And suddenly there was this organisation called BLM, and I thought to myself, what's this about? So I googled it, found their website, wrote an article based on their website, and that changed my world, changed my life. Called a Nazi, called a fascist, called racist, sacked from the charity I founded, a multi-award winning charity, sacked by the board I appointed, who are personal friends of mine. What they should have realised is I wasn't going to take that lying down. So I mounted a 5-week fight back with the Free Speech Union, and we forced all the board members to resign in disgrace, and I came back to the charity. Now that sounds like a win, but it wasn't, because I still had to leave the charity a year later, because the following year, councils, housing associations, children in need wouldn't give us any money because you're run by a Nazi. So even though I won and I'd cleared my name, that reputation still stuck with me. So I had to leave the charity sector, and then I said to myself, right, you've potentially destroyed my life, and there might not be much I can do about this, but I'll tell you something, you're going to rue the day you messed with me, because I'm going to be a thorn in your side now. I am going to make sure I can't get cancelled again, and I can't. And now I'm going to be a pain in the backside to the woke, to this new agenda we have, and that's what I've been doing. Hence on YouTube, hence running against Andy Burnham twice. For me, I came third as an independent last year, which was pretty good. I'm here today to do a little bit of a different talk. I'm here to basically tell you we're winning. We're winning this fight, this culture war, we're winning, and I'm going to explain to you now how we're winning and why we're winning. Now, first of all, we're here with Turning Point UK. And the reason why we're here is because their founder was politically assassinated a few months ago. He was killed for telling the truth. I never met the man, never spoke to the man, but I watched many of his videos. So I could be corrected on this, but that was a man who just wanted conversations with people who disagreed with him. He wanted to change people's minds through a million conversations. He may have been right, he may have been wrong. That wasn't the point. The point was he wanted to open dialogue with people who disagreed with him to see where that would lead to see if he could change their mind, to see if they could change his mind. I do change my mind sometimes when someone convinces me otherwise, and that's what we all should be doing. We're building this now, this movement, on the shoulders of giants. People like Charlie Kirk, people like Peter Whittle from New Culture Forum, who died last week of cancer. They've done the groundwork. They were speaking out when nobody else was allowed to speak out. When you got arrested for speaking out, when you were demonised, when everyone thought you was a nutcase, when decent people actually thought you was a racist because you dared talk about immigration and lots of other topics, when you were a homophobe because you weren't so keen on pride. These people were talking out when it was uncomfortable to do it. It's not that uncomfortable anymore now. It isn't uncomfortable. It might be inconvenient, but most people can talk out on many topics now. And we will come back, but only if we want us to come back. I want us to come back, and I won't stop fighting for that. But when you leave here today, remember one thing. Doing nothing isn't an option anymore now. It really isn't an option. Thank you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we've left the Turning Point UK event. Steve and Nick did really good talks, really good sense. And now we're off to the gay village. And there's Lily Savage in the fucking background there. Fucking hell. I haven't seen her for ages.
Go around the village or whatever, they've gone for years.
Yeah.
Even before I worked there. They're actually really, really good. You go around the village, totally voluntarily, and anyone's like passing out or overdosing or whatever, need help. You know, they're all there to.
That's all right, isn't it?
And yeah, they're on the night net. So
back in the day when you used to go to raves and all that kind of stuff, they used to have people like that as well there.
Yeah.
Like, they used to have like old nurses. They used to. If I remember right, at one of the raves I used to go out to, yeah, there was a nun that used to stand outside with fucking Vicks vapor rub and Vicks vape, and inhalers sticking them up the nose, and maybe it was me. Yeah, but they used to do that. You used to have like a nun going out, like making sure all the people, like, imagine that being a nun, and you're sitting there with loads of people twisted off their heads on MDMA. I fucking love you. Ooh, that's, I'm not gonna lie, that fucking smells well nice.
Cat food.
I know, I bet it is.
Properly What's someone singing? Opera competition. I guess.
Going on here, yeah.
Yeah, it's the Brewers Club downstairs.
Ooh,
down again, down.
I wonder what fucking naughty things
just a
that
rave.
happen. Oh, is it? Let's go. Why aren't we going? So we're in Manchester, Piccadilly Gardens. I don't know what I'm going to do with this video because there's probably not much action going on down here, and I fucking think the rest of them are down here anyway. Some of the other YouTubers, Jermaine, Hugo, Reality UK Media will be down here. So let's have a little gander and see what's going on. It's dead in Piccadilly Gardens tonight. The world's most dangerous McDonald's. It's not so dangerous. Okay, people. We've arrived back home in Chester. Obviously got my home as the nearest train station to me. Well, I could get a train, but it's too late now because it's fucking 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm gonna have a little gander around fucking Chester and see what's happening. See if it's worth me doing some Chester videos at night. Ooh. He just said people set fire to their pubes. I'm sure he just did say that. Please tell me if I'm correct. Dead. 1 o'clock in the morning. And Chester is dead. Mine's better. Telling you, mate, 100% it is. 1 o'clock in the morning, people. Definitely look like Manchester, this.
Guys, I think we are going. It is. That way, we shall go right now. So many hours in a day, but you know the truth is so that you can get what you want, or you can just get all you're gonna kick off before you even get halfway. Oh.
Hey up.
I don't like it.
Try and find where these police have gone to. Do you know what, to be fair, I think actually Chester might be a good call. So maybe I might put this as a little video and all that and just see what's going on, because it is getting to Christmas time. And obviously I don't want to go to Manchester, it's not my fucking city. But would you like me to start recording around Chester, Liverpool, Birkenhead and places like that? And if so, yeah, is there anyone else out there that wants to come out and have a laugh with us and all that kind of stuff in this area? Or maybe I should just do it on my own, but here's the busies here. Got it well easier than in Manchester. Have a look at gander at them. They got it well easier than it in Manchester here. I'll guarantee it. Look at the photons on there, as Charlie Veach would say. With me pure video on. Does that look sick or what? It does, doesn't it? Nice Slipknot t-shirt.
Thank you.
Is right. Brought Charlie down here if you remember. Have you ever fussy in here, couldn't you? Look at it. See what the busies are doing here then. He's trying to do his coat off. You alright there, mate?
Yeah,
Do you want me to help you?
Well, can you set me fucking coat up, please?
Do you know what? You're doing it in the wrong bit. You haven't pulled the finger down there.
Nah.
Like that, mate. Why is this not going here?
That's what I'm trying to say.
Come here.
Yeah, go on.
Why the fuck won't
What's your
that?
name? Go,
English Ned.
on your YouTube.
English Ned. It's not going in, mate.
I probably fucking
English Ned, what's your name?
Callum.
Nice one, lad.
Honestly,
I can't get it in. I think you might have broke it. See you in a bit, lad. I'm a bit late, yeah. Someone's being arrested here. Let's have a little gander and see what they're saying. Drunk and disorderly, probably. Just probably had too much. Too many beers.
He probably posted that on Facebook, didn't he? That he shouldn't have.
Ah, yeah, you fucking, you know what? You're probably right there. Do you know what I mean? That's what we need to do. We need to get rid of Starmer, yeah. And fucking, and Nigel Farage is not really the answer. It's Ben Habib, but Nigel Farage is a stepping stone.
None of them are the answer.
And well, no, the English are the answer. The real people.
Do you know what? Have you seen what Nepal's done? That's exactly what we need, mate.
Yeah, maybe.
Music is
the answer. Music is the answer. See you in a bit. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sat in Chester. Let me start that again. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm in Chester train station. I just fucked it up again. What the fuck? Gentlemen, I'm in Chester bus stop. I'm waiting for a taxi home. I've had a little gander round Chester. So, this is the end of my video. I'm waiting for a taxi. Let's see what time it's gonna fucking be. 8 minutes, I think. But I don't even know. Bye.